My name is Dee Nicely. I'm one of the 4-H educators here in Tippecanoe County and also the County Extension Director. In Tippecanoe County, we have over 70 4-H projects for our youth, and one of our biggest projects is our junior leaders. And during the year, we work with our junior leaders and give them experiences working with community service type events and activities, gives them a way to give back to the community and then to learn leadership and civic engagement skills at the same time. In June, we had our 4K for 4-H. The money raised from the registration from the walk, actually we gave to food finders. That way they could make an impact, a greater impact in Tippecanoe County. During the 4-H fair, our junior leaders do everything from run their own concession stand, their pop stand, where they serve Arnie's Pizza and fountain drinks and breadsticks and popcorn. They also help with project check-in and check-out. In November, right after Thanksgiving, the junior leaders participated in the Day of Giving by donating $365 to food finders so that the matching grant would happen and they would be able to make a difference for several families here in Tippecanoe County. Right before Christmas, we took a group of junior leaders with us to Walmart and spent close to $700 on things for the Kris Kringle event that the YWCA puts on. One of my favorite memories from 2023 was our staff participated in the Lafayette Christmas Parade. We had tried it last year and had a great time and decided we were going to do it again this year. It was awesome. There were so many people. We just had a great time taking information. We had different flyers and information that we were able to hand out to the community, all of the families that were gathered there for that very cold night. But we were also able to hand out free t-shirts that were left over from the fair, 4-H t-shirts, and just to have some fun with the community and spend some time as a staff, but also giving back to the community one last time before the year end.
I'm Megan Skiba, and I'm one of the 4-H educators in Tippecanoe County. One of my favorite parts about working in Tippecanoe County is that I was born and raised in Lafayette, Indiana, and I also was a 10-year 4-H member. One of our biggest highlights of this past year was the 4-H fair in July, and this year we had close to 1,200 4-Hers participate in the fair. And between all of the livestock shows and the judging and the vendors and food options and everything happening at the fair, we had a very large turnout from the community, which was very reassuring and fun. And we hope to increase that in 2024. 4-H is important to our community because of the life skills it gives our youth from the time they join the program in kindergarten all the way until they graduate in 12th grade. They're learning different skills from communication by talking to the judge at judging, to leadership and mentoring younger students, and community service by joining junior leaders and giving back to the community. The list is endless, and all of those skills will help form these 4-Hers into leaders for the community in the future.
Hi, I'm Regina Hofer, and I have been a part of 4-H here in Tippecanoe County for 10 whole years. Over the past 10 years, I've been involved with the following projects: poultry, floriculture. I've been a part of sewing and miscellaneous needlecraft. I've also been a part of foods. I've been a part of communications, which is giving a speech in front of others, and junior leaders. My mother signed me up when I was in 3rd grade because she was in 4-H and had amazing experiences, so she wanted that for me too. And one of my favorite memories of 4-H was my 2nd year of poultry. I won showmanship after studying really hard, and what's so great about this to me is that the year before that I guess I thought I didn't have to study or something because I totally failed at showmanship, and the 2nd year I really picked up the pace and studied hard, and I won champion in showmanship for my division. In Tippecanoe County, it's a bigger fair than most other places, which it really actually helps refine people's skills. Like if you want to be really good at a project, you got to work really hard at that project in order to win in Tippecanoe County. And with other fairs, like, you know, you could be the only person in your category and get champion automatically, which is not quite as tough as getting champion among like 10 other people, Kids get interested in things they'd never think they'd want to do in life. It also gives great experiences and keeps people from getting bored during the summer.
I'm Dr. Pat Williams, and I am the Ag and Natural Resources Educator for Tippecanoe County. We do a lot of things in Ag and Natural Resources, but by far our largest and most successful program is our Master Gardeners. As we ended 2023, we had a little over 130 Master Gardeners, and they are active in the community in so many ways. Some of their bigger events are their Garden Expo and Plant Sale, which is always toward the end of April, but they do everything from grow food for the local food banks. They do tours, they answer questions to the public. As we look at why Ag and Natural Resources is important in Tippecanoe County, we're still a very rural county as far as farming. And a lot of the acreage in this county is still taken up by row crops each year. But what we also know about our population is it's growing. And as those populations grow, there's more homes, there's more landscaping questions. And even with the Ag and Natural Resources title, we deal an awful lot with horticulture, as that's the bulk of my time here. We want people to do things right. We still want them to be environmentally friendly. We want them to not use chemicals unless absolutely necessary. And with all the homeowners here, they can have just as big of an impact on our county community and ecosystem as all the farmers. We serve so many different populations on a daily basis, and that's one of the things that keeps my job interesting. I had a daughter whose parents have passed away, and she's back in her childhood home. Her dad, even though he was not a horticulture professor on campus, that was his passion, and his yard was just like a secret garden. And so as she came back, she really just didn't know what to do with the garden. And I walked her through everything, I spent a couple hours with her, and I told her the biggest thing is to document. So when you're not feeling like you're making a lot of progress, take pictures. And I got an email a couple months after I'd met with her, and she said, it's working. I can look on the computer and see everything, and it's coming. She goes, my dad would be so proud of me. And that makes you melt. And then last summer was our first summer since I've been here that we had our Junior Master Gardener program. To see the kids eat things that they would have never have eaten, but because they grew them, they do. And we had so many compliments of people out in the garden that the Junior Master Gardens were some of the best looking gardens in the whole 11 acres that were out there. So that was affirming that we're doing the right thing. And we built a whole new garden so that each year they now have a place that's just theirs. There are so many things that happen every day, from just regulars that make sure they call me anytime they have a question. And I've gone out to some homes 3 or 4 times now, and when you get cookies, when you show up, you know you're making a difference in their life.
My name's Anita Sanford, and I've lived in Tippecanoe County for almost 12 years now. I heard about Purdue Extension because of my involvement with other land-grant universities in Oregon and the extension there. I knew that when I moved here that I could connect with the extension office. I joined the Master Gardener program in last fall, 2023, because I have a passion for everything that's green and growing, and I love to share that with other people. I work with Grow Local, Garden Network, and I like to connect people in the communities with their garden and help them with their knowledge. I'm also working with St. Andrew Methodist Church on the north side of the county, and we're working on how to work with people within our neighborhoods. And so I'm learning all about neighborhood community gardens and then how to produce that food and put it into food pantries in neighborhoods where people really need fresh food. And people ask me all the time, well, why did you move from Oregon? Because it's so different and it's so pretty back there. Well, I tell them it's beautiful here. I love the clouds and the sky. Oh my goodness, the skies are beautiful here, the sunsets and the sunrises. And I love the prairie. I've learned so much about the land here and the history behind why people moved here. And I've enjoyed learning from people in the community about their histories, and that connection and just everyday life has really made this a really rich place for me, and that's why I'm going to retire here.
My name is Brock Turner. I am the Health and Human Science Educator for Purdue Extension in Tippecanoe County. I believe education is the first step in preventative measures, and health education allows us to be informed to make those right decisions that impact our lives. It's also a catalyst for change. If we're unaware of potential poor health behaviors, education on new behaviors can be that indicator for change in our lives that can reverse some of those chronic health diseases that we may have. In 2023, I felt was extremely successful. We were able to give educational programs to the community in all 4 of our major focus areas, which are nutrition, human development, health and wellness, and financial resource management, delivering over 66 different programs across the community with over 2,200 participants and over 5,000 minutes of education being delivered with over 30 different community partners. So one of the classes that stand out to me wasn't the actual class, but it was the after the class scenario where I had a participant look at me and said, "Brock, I've never been to any of your classes, but this was great and I look forward to coming to many more classes." The problem was that this participant had been to many of my classes, probably over 5 different classes over the past year. And whenever I mentioned to her that she had been to my classes, she looked very concerned and came close to me and shared that she had just been recently diagnosed with early onset dementia, and that she is interested in any kind of education I have on that topic. And I shared with her that I will be back the next month with a program called Train Your Brain to help give her some insight on how to maybe address a diagnosis that she's just received. I am looking forward to another great year of programming and impact, as well as being the resource for the community that is non-biased education and information. And so it's nice to be able to be that resource in those rooms and with those coalitions and everywhere, and be available to answer questions, provide input that might be able to make more impact, not just in a classroom, but outside with other organizations as well.
Hi, I'm Cheryl McCool. I've been involved with Purdue Extension for many, many years. I've lived in this community for over 50 years. I'm a master gardener. I am an extension homemakers. In the past, I have served on the extension board, and I also been a 4-H leader. Purdue Extension offers a lot of support to the community in different ways. In the homemakers, we do a lot of donations to different groups in town. Master gardeners, we do a lot of education in the community also, and spend our time, we had to do a lot of donations to the food bank and to the soup kitchen. We've been supported by some really good people here at Purdue Extension. Pat Williams is our educator for Master Gardeners, and Brock Turner for Extension Homemakers, and they've both been very valuable in educating us. Both Dr. Pat and Brock both have a wealth of knowledge, and they share it with you. Some of my memories of 2023 involve a group of us going out to the Master Gardener Display and Idea Garden and working together to clean up the children's gardens and the Idea and Display gardens, doing a lot of weeding projects and making the gardens look good so that they'll look good to the public, and the public will want to come in and look at our gardens. We have a lot of fun. There are usually about 5 to 10 or 12 of us out there all working at the same time on our gardens, and it's usually lots of fun. We talk and we laugh and we have fun together. So many times we'll go to lunch after we've been out in the garden. So those are some favorite memories from Master Gardeners. As for Extension Homemakers, We had a fun night with our group this past year and played some bingo games and won prizes and passed out information to get new people into want to be on extension homemakers. Some of my best friends are master gardeners, as well as home extension and extension homemakers. I have some really good friends there, and they've all helped me in the community. I mean, we just know more about the community and be more involved in the community, and that's invaluable to me.
My name is Betsy Coffing, and I'm the Community Wellness Coordinator here at the Tippecanoe County Extension Office. I also cover Carroll, Fountain, and Warren counties, with Tippecanoe being my main county of coverage. My job's a little different, where I work more with community leaders, people in the community, volunteers, that can help make these long-term sustainable changes. My focus is on the low-income SNAP-eligible population. The goal is essentially to make the healthy choice the easy choice, allowing the population access to nutrition and physical activity opportunities at low to no cost. One of the most impactful programs I worked on in 2023 was a food pantry with the Excel Center. It started as a small sharing shelf located at the Excel Center here in Lafayette and has morphed into a pantry room. So now they have like a full-size pantry located at the Excel Center for students and also staff to use. So the pantry is stocked with food items, toiletry items, and even some clothing, personal items that people can either have some snacks throughout the day if they're hungry, or even take them home to their families if they are food insecure and need of those resources at home. That's been a very exciting project. We started that with some funding through Franciscan Health. We applied for the Social Impact Partnership Fund and received $4,000 toward the pantry. So that allowed us to buy some shelving, stock those shelves with a partnership with food finders, and then they receive some donations, but a lot of the food they receive is purchased through that food finders partnership. My favorite memory in 2023 was creating the recipe packets for the Riggs Community Health food boxes. I worked with Riggs and Food Finders Food Bank to select items to go in food boxes each week, and then I also helped them create recipe packets that would be included in those boxes. These individuals all and their families were all food insecure, so these boxes definitely helped fill a gap, fill the need of some extra food in their household. Through the bi-monthly food boxes and some holiday food box drives, they distributed a total of 42,500 pounds of food to people throughout the community. So what keeps me going every day at my job is just the fact that I am very interested in health and nutrition in my own personal life. So it's just kind of awesome to know that I can have that impact on other people in the community. And that makes me think back to the program with Riggs. A lot of the patients that were receiving those food boxes and receiving the recipes just told us how much of an impact it made on their lives, how helpful that extra food was. And I think that's part of what gets me up every day, is just the fact that I know it was so important to them. So it becomes so important to me to help those people and then help other people through different projects receive access to that healthy food and physical activity opportunities.
Hi, I'm Barb Bunnell, and I am a nutrition education advisor with the Purdue Extension. My role in the community is to go out and feed those who are underserved. They receive some kind of assistance through the government. So in many of our counties in the state, people like myself may have 2 or 3 counties. I'm fortunate that I just have Tippecanoe County, and it is a large county with a great need. I teach at Food Finders and have been with them since they moved to the Education Center on Greenbush. I also teach with them at the Fresh Market, so I see the people as they come in with their needs. I teach at several senior citizens centers, as well as Habitat for Humanity, the Senior Center, Hannah Center. So we're working on programs in all these different areas, trying to find ways to help those who are in need with nutritional information, to be able to get that and be able to translate it as to how they make their food dollars, their food stamps go the furthest. When I talk to my clients, the whole goal is to keep them feeling good about themselves and the decisions they're making, and to try to expand on understanding how to eat healthy, how to make better choices. And the biggest piece is how to make their food dollar go the furthest, which is one of the reasons that Food Finders and I have worked so well together, because I'm able to help those clients not only see what they have at the pantries. I try to get into all the pantries within Tippecanoe County. We also have 2 other people who teach in the school systems, where they teach our Catch program. Tammy Martin and Jessica Flick. Jessica is in 3 counties, so she is teaching in the schools as well as adults, but Tammy teaches just our school kids in Tippecanoe County, all those who are receiving at least 50% free lunches. So she has a full-time job just teaching nutrition to the kids, which translates to they go home and say, "Mom, I just found out that I love blueberries. We've never had those. Can we start buying blueberries?" To the parents saying, "How do I sign up and take classes so I understand what you're learning?" So we try to tie it all together. We also have Martha Lopez, who teaches our Hispanic community, and she is in 5 counties, and Tippecanoe is her main county. But she solely works with the Hispanic community, which is a large need and a very rewarding for us to have her in our community, because she can teach things that some of us can't teach by not knowing Spanish. She definitely hits a community that wasn't being served before, so she is a huge asset for us to have in the county right now. One of my best memories is a really great experience that continues to happen on a regular basis with Food Finders, is that I have a group that started, didn't know each other. They were sitting out front, waiting for the food pantry to open at Fresh Market, and we asked them if they wanted to come inside to take classes. And so as a group, they came in and did the first class, and so the next week they were sitting out front again. And this continued for several weeks, and finally one of them came up to me and she said, "You know, my best friend is so-and-so who I've been sitting with out front. I didn't know her until I came into your class, and now she takes me every place. We go and walk together, we have breakfast and Thanksgiving together, and we just have a friendship that we wouldn't have had if we hadn't have taken this class." And at the same time, they told me, they said, "But you saved our life because you taught us that we had to exercise, we had to eat healthy." And by doing that, they have both improved their health. The one who is the provider of all good things to eat and to drive around town, she was on the verge of being hospitalized for her diabetes. Just one day, and they said, we have something we want to give you, and it was this bouquet of flowers that came out of I don't know where. I think it was one of their yards, but they were just beautiful flowers that it was the simplest gesture that I didn't realize what an impact we had on them until they came back and said that, because they said, "No one cares for us the way you do when you teach your classes." So it was very humbling and very fun to be with them and to share that with them, because it just brought light to the matter of how many people, if you love them, they will love you back. So it's my happy memory.
I think one of the best things about Purdue Extension is that no matter who you are in the county, you can be impacted by what's happening with Extension. Everything from our youth that we work with in the schools, outside of the schools, the youth that don't even know we exist but are still gaining knowledge from some of the things that we're doing. Or I think of the families who maybe had a nice Christmas, or maybe have some things for a new home that are being impacted because of the deeds that our junior leaders are doing. Or I think of the different populations that either, even if they never walk in our door or never receive services, that they realize they're receiving services from us. They're still being impacted by all of the great information that's coming from Purdue's campus out to us, and we're able to put it out to our community in all sorts of different ways, whether it's through programming or outreach or information that we're putting out on social media. Everybody can be impacted in Tippecanoe County by Purdue Extension.